Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new video on the 3D Critic channel. I'm David, your host, and today I'm going to give you guys my performance review on the Jordan Luka 3s. Now starting it off, when it came to the try-on experience, it was very straightforward in my opinion. It was overall pretty easy to get into, and I didn't have any issues going in or out of the shoe. It was pretty straightforward at the end of the day. As far as fit is concerned, I went true to size and they fit me very nicely. It does run a little bit long, and the width is actually like really conformed around my foot, and it's very forgiving. So for that, I would go true to size. For narrow footers, I would probably go down half a size because of the overall forgiveness of the width itself. And for wide footers, because of the forgiveness, I would go true to size as well. Maybe a full size, just in case. If you can try them on in stores, I would recommend that you do that to get the right size for you. And for retail, they're going for $130 on Nike's website. So if you guys are interested, I will leave a link in the description box below. So for the traction itself, you're getting a mixed compound with rubber as well as translucent, creating this very aggressive, swerving, multi-directional herringbone pattern, which was pretty good. However, you do have to break it in because initially I did start sliding a little bit when it came to lateral and vertical movements. But once you break it in and you get some heat under the outsole itself, it has really consistent grip on a clean court. So going side to side was fairly easy in these, considering how bulky the shoe is in general. So it was very good going from side to side. I really enjoyed it playing in that style. For vertical movements, they were really good too. The hard stops were very nice, and you're able to stop on the dive, and you get a nice quick first step when you were trying to launch off of your first step. So that was also pretty good. On dusty courts, however, they are literal dust magnets, and it picked up dust wherever you can find it on a court. So it was very annoying to deal with, to say the least, in my opinion. And it is a ongoing problem with the Lukas, in my opinion. The Luka 1s, it picked up dust like crazy. The Luka 2s picked up quite a bit of dust too. So it is a revolving theme when it comes to Luka's traction outsole, in my opinion. So that was the main annoyance. But however, when it came to playing on a dusty court, it does retain some of the grip that you're going to get when you are playing on a clean court. So that is plus in my opinion on that. But be sure to wipe it down consistently because it does pick up quite a bit of dust. Durability wise, they are very good indoors. I am only experiencing small signs of wear on the high wear areas, but everywhere else it doesn't seem like I barely scratched the surface of the outsole itself. But the rubber itself is a little soft, so I would probably avoid these outdoors. But you should be fine because the grooves itself are kind of thick, so you're going to have a good bit of wear from the outsole itself if you want to play indoors, just in case. Just be mindful that the rubber is a little soft. But overall, at the end of the day, the grip was really good once you warmed it up. Lateral movements and vertical movements were really good. It is a dust magnet, however, so just be mindful of that. And the durability itself is pretty good too. Now, when it comes to the cushioning, it is pretty basic at the end of the day. You're getting a Cushlon 3.0 midsole that is exposed in the medial side of the shoe and as well as the bottom in the heel. And when it comes to forefoot cushioning, they are responsive, but it's nothing crazy. It is enough to get you going at the end of the day. And it has some bounce too, but it's nothing crazy. And you're getting most of the springiness from the isoplate in the midfoot. So overall, it's pretty basic when it comes to the forefoot cushioning, in my opinion. It just gets the job done when it comes to responsiveness and bounce. For heel cushioning, however, it is actually very comfortable and forgiving. Considering that it is Cushlon 3.0, it is overall generally a very forgiving foam, and it has really nice compression in the heel. And when it came down to impact protection, it felt really good when it came down to heel strikes. For fluidity, because of the Cushlon midsole, it is very nice and fluid, and it promotes really fluid heel to toe transitions at the end of the day. And it has a little spring under your step too, so each step feels like a lively one, and you're able to go up and down the court fairly easily in these, and it was very smooth at the end of the day. However, for long-term use, it's not going to be that way, however, because Cushlon does tend to bottom out over time. So while it's new, it's actually a very nice cushioning setup, but over time, it will start to bottom out and it won't feel as responsive and bouncy in the forefoot and in the heel also. Just be mindful of that. While it's new, it's pretty good and gets the job done. but over time, it's going to get a little worse. Now, diving into the materials, you're going to get a bunch of molded mesh material all around the shoe in the toe box, lateral, and medial side of the shoe, with some synthetic leather paneling in the heel as well as on the top of the tongue. And as you continue onto the tongue, it is heavily padded on the top and it is made out of neoprene as well as the padding that you get in the heel. So as a result of that, overall comfort is really comfortable in my opinion. Because of the mesh material, it molds very nicely and it flexes with your foot very well, so you won't experience any pinching. And because of the abundance of padding that you get on the tongue, it is very comfortable and forgiving in the midfoot, and I didn't suffer any lace irritations because of that. And the padding in the heel is very nice and forgiving, and it molds really nicely. That way it's like really conformed to the back of your foot. And aesthetically, I love the design, but not this specific colorway. In general, the colorway is really nice, but I don't like this random array of colors on the ISO plate in general. But overall, it is a nicely designed shoe with the molded overlays that you get on the mesh, and it incorporates Luka's logo on the medial side, as well as the hints of the Jordan logo that you get on the tongue, as well as Luka's logo on the back as well. Is a really nice touch, and it's a very clean shoe, and it is very aggressive considering how aggressive the outsole is in general too. So overall, the design language I really like. It's very aggressive, very stylish, and it is designed after sports cars, so I'm not surprised at that. So overall, materials on foot are very comfortable and they look really nice on foot as well. So in terms of lockdown, it is pretty good overall. However, I did experience a little sloppiness in the forefoot. Because of the fit that you get, it is a little roomy overall, and as a result, you will slide a little bit on vertical movements when you're doing hard stops especially. I did slide a little bit forward. However, I did notice a good bit of sliding when I was going side to side, mainly due to the forgiveness of the materials itself with the molded mesh. It does give out on you, and it in turn makes you slide in the footbed a little bit because of that. But the midfoot makes up for it. The lacing system they have, it is integrated within the material, so you're able to cinch the laces really tightly, and you do get a runner's knot to get like extra support from the midfoot system overall. In the heel, it is very good, but you do have to break it in because of the padding that you get. You have to mold it in so that you won't experience the heel slippage that you get initially, but it improves the more you mold into it, and it does eliminate it completely. And with the extra adjustment that you get with the runner's knot, it goes hand in hand with the midfoot lockdown as well. So it is pretty good as you go further back into the shoe. Forefoot's a little sloppy, but the midfoot and heel make up for it. So it is pretty good and it gets the job done. Just be mindful you are going to experience some sliding in the forefoot especially. Now, getting into the support, when it comes to lateral support, it is pretty good in my opinion. You get this very nice protruding outrigger in the forefoot that goes all the way into the midfoot. But the material does have some give, and you actually sit on top of the midsole, so you're going to mainly rely on this little iso plate piece that you get in the top of the toe box and the outrigger itself. And when it comes to lateral stability, when you move into the midfoot, you get the iso plate that wraps to the top of the material, basically wraps up the midfoot entirely with the addition to the outrigger, so it's going to be really nice and containing when it comes to the midfoot section. And I did experience that firsthand. I did roll my foot a little bit, and I was able to catch it just in time for me to roll it completely. So the outrigger in the midfoot was a huge help, along with the iso plate. And in the back, it's pretty much pretty bulked up in my opinion. It is very nice and bulky in the back, and you do get a nice rigid internal TPU heel counter. That way it keeps the back of the shoe nice and planted. So for torsional support, it is pretty good. It's coming from the iso plate in the midfoot that you see, and it extends all the way to the bottom, acting as a shank plate. So it gives it really nice torsional rigidity while having flexibility in the forefoot, so that it doesn't feel restricting, and it has stiffness so that the shoe doesn't contort on you, and you're going to have a nice balance inside the shoe from what I've experienced. For the base, it is really good in my opinion. The base of the shoe is very wide, and it is incredibly flat. in my opinion, and it made me feel very sure-footed every single step that I took in these, and especially when I'm coming down on my own 2 feet. Felt really planted overall in my opinion, and I enjoyed the overall base of the shoe with the outsole that you get. So in terms of support, in my opinion, they are very supportive. Lateral containment is pretty good, and it does get the job done, while the torsional support being really good with the iso plate and the base of the shoe being really wide. It is a very nice support package in my opinion, and it felt really confidence inducing playing in these, and I really enjoyed that. So wrapping things up, the Luka 3s for me, I really liked overall, and I really like playing in it especially. It has everything that you need without breaking the bank, considering that it's only $130. And it is a definite improvement to the Luka 2s in my opinion when it comes to traction. However, it does carry over the dusting issues that it had. And the durability is slightly better in the 3s. Cushioning is a definite improvement too with the Cushion 3.0. It has the same amount of responsiveness and bounciness compared to the Luka 2s, but the cushioning in the 3 is a little bit better in my opinion. Materials are also an improvement with the molded mesh material that you get, which is a definite improvement to the stiff materials that you get in the Luka 2s. And the lockdown support felt great in my opinion, and it is a very nice shoe to play in my opinion. A definite improvement to the Luka 2s, and the best out of the 3. And because of that, I would absolutely recommend it to you guys, considering that it's only $130 and you get a well-rounded overall package when it comes to the Luka 3s. Thank you guys for watching this video. This has been my performance review on the Jordan Luka 3s. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and comment down below on what you think of the Luka 3s. Are they better than the Luka 2s or even the Luka 1s? As well as any other questions that you might have. And if you like to stay up to date with future videos that I will be posting, hit the subscribe button down below. It'll greatly support the channel as well. And if you are interested in seeing my reviews on the Luka 1 as well as the Luka 2, I will leave it on both sides of the screen if you guys are interested. And if you like to follow me on social media, all of that information will be in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I hope this was beneficial to you guys. And until next time, keep shooting.